So we're going to plaster. Now I've got to say, I'm not a plasterer, I'm a plumber. And there are, you know, if you look at YouTube videos, you look at the ones of me rendering and all the comments underneath from plasterers saying, you need to be lynched. You know, they really hate me. Plasterers hate me. And with good reason, quite honestly. They say, why are you trying to teach someone to do it? You don't even know how to do it yourself. Well, the idea is if I can do it, you can do it. Yeah? And if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm going to show you a few things which de-skill it, make it a bit easier for you. So we're going to start off with something very, very simple, which is skimming this plasterboard wall. Now you could tape and joint it, quite honestly, and you could do a passable job, but actually there's a few lips in here, there's a few discrepancies, and also we've got a join here. When we get a straight edge, we'll just borrow this one, Ben, if we can for a minute. This is your shower profile, right? So if we go here and we go across to there, we can see that from there and there we're pretty good. Right, move that up very, very slightly, but across that edge there you can see there's a gap of what, 10 mil?
Yeah, easily, yeah.
So that is too much to make up with the skim plaster. So if we put the skim plaster on, if we put the multi-finish plaster, which is what we're going to use on this wall, we would have the devil's own job to try and make that up. So we would either have to accept the fact that we come along there and we sweep out very slightly, which is not the end of the world, people do that all the time. But what we're going to do is we're going to fill that in with a bit of bonding, and then we're going to have to wait for a while till that bonding dries, till it goes off a bit, sets, because otherwise you get bubbling up. But hopefully it won't be too long. And then we'll go over with the skim coat, all right? And basically all we're going to do is I'll do it and you just shadow me. Whatever I do, you do better.
Okay, fantastic, sounds good.
Right, first thing, Ben, that you've got to learn if you're a plasterer is that. All right? Oh man, look. Right, this is just bonding we're putting on now. The bonding is really the base coat. You can use the bonding. The name suggests it sticks to anything. It really is good.
And we put this on before the tape.
Yeah, so the only place we're going to put this bonding on is across here. We need some tape across this joint. Yeah, but we'll put a bit of bonding on there first. If you're right-handed, you normally start on the left side of the wall and work your way across. It's just the way it works, okay? But obviously what we're now doing is we're trying to fill in that up to about there, and we'll get a straight edge and we'll check it okay. So all you need to do, take a bit of plaster on your trowel. Now we've got a clean floor here, and the great thing about having a clean floor is if you've never plastered before, you're going to drop some of it on the floor. That's inevitable. So a clean floor means that we can scoop it up and reuse it. If you've got grit on the floor, if you've got any kind of dirt on the floor, then leave that plaster on the floor. Don't try and use it. Not so bad with the base coat, but once you start doing the finish coat, if you're picking up grit, then you're away with it, yeah? You'll get all kinds of lines in there. See, you're pretty good.
It's quite fun actually.
Yeah. Keep it that way,
yeah,
into the wall and up, and then you avoid what I've just done. Just imagine your trowel is staying at that plane. That's it, beautiful. That's it. And then just hit the wall. Just for that last minute as you go on,
yeah,
you turn it, but by that time it's falling onto the wall.
Right.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
so it's here, it's there, and it's on. Okay. So if you do that, if you finish that off for me,
yep,
I'll have to go and get some more.
What about the top? So to go on at the top, I just used, I went on the end of the trowel like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
To sort of do that.
Yeah, that's good.
What are we doing? Am I
just stick it on, keep sticking it on. Don't worry too much. No, let's get more on here.
Right.
I'll show you where we're trying to get to with it in a minute when you got that on. Right, I've got a straight edge here. This is called a Speedskim. We're going to use this. It's a dirty Speedskim that needs cleaning up like mad before I use it for anything. So we just go like that. You can see now.
Oh yeah.
And a bit more there.
Wow.
And a bit more there.
Yeah.
Yeah, to just build it out there. And once we do that, we can just go like that on the whole thing. See what I say about de-skilling? Things like that anybody can do.
Right. So you kind of actually, I'm worrying about getting a flat finish.
You don't need to worry but this thing is going to do all of that.
So just get it on there.
Yeah. It was invented by a plasterer.
Yeah. And is that different to the aluminium pieces I see?
Yeah, those are feather edges.
Right.
They're good as well. But this, well, you'll see that this just moves the plaster around a bit better.
Right. So that's a bit more for us, maybe, and the other one's for a prototype.
Well, speed skims, there's guys who hate them and there's guys that love them.
I've got a feeling I'm going to love it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a speed skim.
That's a speed skim.
So what is it, like a plastic edge on it?
It's plastic edge, but they do an aluminium. They do a stainless steel one as well.
Yeah.
But we won't need that.
Yeah.
I don't think we need a huge amount more, but maybe the same again.
See, I thought this was enough. So just this
yeah, it's not too bad.
No, but I mean, like,
yeah.
my knowledge.
Yeah. For this bit, we'll just do it like this. People don't always have a board, do they?
And what about the floor bit here? Do we want?
We'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Behind the skirting, so we're not too worried.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's it. You just gone
reverse.
Slightly wrong again.
Have I?
That's all right. No, because that's what happens. Right. No, so, hang on. You're being awkward here.
Okay.
Right. So stay there. It's easy to get it wrong because you know you go away, you come back. Right. So you got your hook there, your trowel there. You're picking up off the back. Right. So don't pick up on the corner. Pick up. Turn the hook so that it's facing how you want it. Right, the hook moves, all right?
Oh,
so
right,
so there's no need for you to go around there. You can just turn your hook to where you want it, right?
Right, okay.
So go like that, on the wall, just like that. Ooh. Just like that. All right, that's it, lovely.
All these tricks.
Yeah.
Right, so what you're saying is, I was using it at a weird angle. If I just clock the...
You can use it as a weird angle, but by the end of the day, you've been twisting your hand around. You can feel it going off this stuff already, can't you?
Yeah.
And that's good because we want to get on. We want to get the next coat on. And sometimes a plasterer will bond out and do all his bonding one day and then go back on the next day. Now just have a look at this, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's see, you're just in the way of the camera there. Just have a look at this
edge.
I keep dropping stuff. We just need to get rid of some of that. So what we need, bit of this, bit of that, yeah? And just take off anything that looks like a big bump. Yeah?
I think the whole wall looks like a big bump.
So it should be all right. You can see we just get that on. We don't want to load the whole wall.
Okay.
If that's smooth, don't. Yeah, that's fine. So at some point we need to stop bonding.
What about the holes and the gaps?
That's all right. We'll sort those.
No, you sort those afterwards.
Yeah,
don't worry about those.
We don't worry about them with this because
okay.
you can do, but we don't need to. And we want to put a bit of scrim on. So, what I would say is that ceiling's a bit gappy. We want to keep the ceiling as it is.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a wet brush on it in a minute and just clean it off. So will that Artex be asbestos? No. I should think on the age of the house that it's very unlikely, but what I'd say is don't bother trying to sand it off. In fact, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it is Artex. Some kind of textured cement-based texture coating. There is what they used to call Polytex. Right. But I think this is the Artex. So don't sand it basically. If in doubt, don't abrade it, just go straight over it with plaster. Right. And again, you could, sometimes what they do is just knock all the nibs off. Right. With the edge of a trowel, just to get rid of any high spots, and then PVA. Give the whole thing PVA and then a skim coat of plaster. I nearly got caught out the other day. Yeah? With the tiling the bathroom. I
I was going to PVA the wall before the tiling.
Oh yeah.
And then the tiler said, no, you've got to use the primer. And then I did a little bit of online checking and everyone said, yeah, you've got to use the primer.
Yeah, because the PVA, people use PVA in all the wrong situations. My pet one is where plasterers use it on external rendering. I've had arguments with them, no, PVA is this thing. It's not. And even waterproof PVA isn't waterproof.
Right.
The only reason it's waterproof is if you encapsulate it in the cement. So if you mix it up
Right.
as a slurry in the cement and put it on,
As like a plasticizer or something.
it's fine. It works fine. But if you just paint it on the wall and think that you can just render straight onto that, you've actually put a layer of stuff which will re-emulsify as it gets wet, even damp. It'll re-emulsify and it'll actually weaken the bond between the render and the substrate. Right. So the thing to use, it's twice as expensive, but the thing to use is something called SBR,
Right.
which is brilliant. I mean, if I'd say you could render straight onto a piece of glass.
Really?
Yeah, if you used SBR, there'd be nothing to stop you. Now,
This looks good.
we need some scrim tape.
Right, you've got some.
Have you got some scrim somewhere?
Yeah, can I give you this lot?
Well, stick it on the wall, mate. Stick it on the wall.
Not on the floor.
Try, yeah, that's my trick. Right, here, Ben, just before you go.
Yeah.
As I say, I need to clean this up a bit. My speed skim, it's got a bit. Right, so we just go down there with it. And that's why it's best to put enough on.
And then just help it off.
Let's just take my hawk out of the way, take yours out. Let's take that out of the way. And then,
And obviously you've got some to put back on if you need it.
yeah, absolutely. You can see where the hollow spot is there.
Wow, amazing, isn't it?
There's a little bit there, Ben, that we need.
So, okay, shall we get in?
Yeah, if you can just grab a bit.
Yeah, it's hard doing these like adjustments,
Yeah.
you know. So like, is that right? Leave it kind of a bit.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Let's just run that speed skim. The thing about the speed skim is you can just angle it, as you could see, right? So if you angle it there, you're moving it off the high spots into the low spots, yeah? So we can do that.
Nice.
Really need the trowel to do that bit of work, do we? Oh, look, switch the light on as well. Okay,
Yeah.
to do with just tidying that top up.
Were you saying brush it as well, were you?
Oh yeah, I need to get the plaster out of the thing, yeah. Don't worry too much, mate. Just run it across, that's it. Maybe this way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
That'll do. That'll
The
do.
tendency is to go too slow and try and be too perfect.
Yeah, don't worry. This is the mistake that everybody makes when they do plastering, is they think they've got to get it smooth.
Right.
You spend ages messing around one small area trying to get it smooth. Oh, how am I going to get these lines out? You know, you've never used the trowel before and you're trying to get the lines out. Well, you can't do it. But what I'm going to show you is that you don't have to do it.
Right.
Because I'm going to show you a couple of magic techniques which I would say means that anybody could learn to plaster in a day. And I think that's what we're going to call the title of this video. Learn to plaster in a day. Okay?
Then there'd be no need for you to do the next wall. I can do the next wall on
Absolutely, yeah. And then I'm on the
my own. Then you're unemployed.
on a scrap heap. But no, I mean, this isn't about. Let's be fair. This isn't about doing a whole room. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you've never done any plastering before, do not take on a whole room. But there's going to be little jobs. Maybe there's small areas, a bit of damage or something needs doing, where you think, okay, watch this video. I think I'll have a go at this. And it's best to start on something that doesn't matter. Maybe inside a cupboard or wherever you like. just get the hang of it. You're never going to produce your best result first time out, but a lot of people are very encouraged, like with the rendering video, saying, do you know what, I watch a rendering video, had a go, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, so long as you take your time.
Well, also I think the interesting thing for me always is, there's one thing about it not being visually perfect, so long as it's technically done the right way, i.e. it's not going to fall off again.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that
Yeah.
you don't often know.
Yeah. I think you're right. The other thing you can do is light is very important. So what we want to do is put the harshest light on this in a minute. We'll put a side light on it, we'll get a raking light, and you'll be able to see any imperfections, sort them out while it's wet.
Right.
There are plasters around, we do something with those later maybe, but there are plasters around which are easy sand plasters. Ready mixed easy sand plasters, very, very forgiving. So if you get trowel marks in it, you can just rub over it. So where are you going to go? Over there, Ben?
Well, it's better if I'm this side of the
All right,
camera.
okay.
Oh, are you going to go on here?
It doesn't matter, anywhere you would like. All right, let's just get it on the wall, my friend.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
I'll just stop going on top of
That's it. What you've done with the bonding, you can do with this now. Keep the trowel the same. Yeah?
Yeah.
And what I do is one up and then turn the trowel back slightly and go down again. You see? So you're using the leading edge on the way up and then the back edge on the way down.
Okay.
And that's it.
It's a bit better when you...
It's all right. First day on the job, Ben.
So,
Where are you going to be in a week? You're going to be earning the big money.
big
Now-
squash.
Ben,
Yeah.
I just got to say, because there'll be people watching this who will be thinking, hang on, that guy is a photographer and he's messing about doing up houses and all the rest of it. It would seem to many people watching this
Yeah.
that job of travelling around the world photographing very glamorous women
Yeah.
has got to be the better job of it. So
They'd be right. Yes, that's the bonding coming off.
is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Blimey. I'll fix that, mate. Let's hope the whole lot doesn't drop off. That may have been that there was too much heat on that bit, yeah? You know, we were blasting it because it wasn't
Oh, right, yeah.
going off fast enough. We were trying to hurry it up a bit, weren't we, that fan heater?
Could have been too much.
But the thing is, you know, you can never tell with plaster. One day you get an old bag, it's off within 5 minutes. You get a bit of dirty water, contaminated water, that'll send it off really fast.
Really?
So you've got to keep everything clean, but in our case we could have done with a bit of contamination to just try and move it on a bit. What they've done is they've spent years and years making plaster easier to use. You can work longer with it, more forgiving, you can bring it back a bit, spraying a bit of water on it, you know,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. So there probably aren't that many products out there which are trying to speed it up again, but you can speed it up. I mean, years ago, I remember the guys.
You want a longer working time, is that what you're saying?
No, if you want to get it on there and you want to get home,
Right.
and you're waiting for it to go off. I mean, we've warmed this room up considerably now, as you can probably feel, probably working up a sweat.
Well, it's very exciting to be working next to you, Roger.
Oh yeah, better than all those page 3 girls, oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh no, yeah.
That's easy. Basically against. No, but it is interesting. There's definitely some satisfaction in
Doing this.
something like this. And
Yeah.
using your hands and, you know, at the end of the week, you can look back, or the end of the day, you can actually
See something.
feel good about what you've done.
Yeah. I think, you know, it's all good, isn't it? It's all work, and everything you do in life is experience. This is a Speedskim.
Right.
A lot of plasterers hate these, but the guy that invented them, he said the main advantage of these is that if you're a plasterer and you're on that trowel all day long, you imagine doing that 20, 30 years, you're going to get exactly that, repetitive strain injury. You need some respite, you need something else to do. So using this means that instead of having to trowel this whole lot flat, we just get this. And I'll say we could have done this at an earlier stage because it's gone off a bit. We're not looking to trowel it up, we're looking to take the high spots off,
right.
Move the high spots onto the low spots. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you can see, if you look along it, you can see that was a bulge there.
Yeah.
We're taking that bulge out by putting the...
Keep coming from above, so as he comes.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay.
So do it again.
Yeah. So you can see, if there's a high spot there, which there is, okay?
Yeah.
It's just going to be behind the skirting. We'll just take that bit off, take it up at a more acute angle. If there's a low spot there, we can put it back on just by altering the angle. If we find a low spot anywhere else, which there is, I can see, if you look through, you can see a little bit of light, chink of light through there, which means that we can go like that, and we can put that back on. Do you want to have a go with this, Ben?
Yeah.
You're going fairly sharp with that, but that's fine.
A little fast.
No. It's the angle. If you go
flatter.
If you go acute, you're going to take stuff off, right? So if there's a high spot and you feel you want to get rid of a high spot, go like that, and you will get rid of the high spot. If you want to put stuff on, like you might think there's a low spot there, like there is definitely a low spot.
Yeah.
So do that, and we'll get a trowel. And if you point them out to me, I'll fill them in if you like.
Low spot here, Rog.
Just there, okay.
I like this, I get to tell you what to do.
Okay, jump over then, and I'll stick you a bit more.
I stick a trowel in my face, and a bit of a low spot here as well.
Right, so, oh dear. You can see it going off like mad, can't you?
Yeah. And that's just because we had the heating on too much, trying to get the bonding off.
Well, we had to get it going off, and it was really, really slow, wasn't it? We would have been here for hours waiting for it to go off, which is because it's a fresh bag, and ironically, because we did everything right, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes that works.
In your favour?
Right, where else, my friend?
I reckon here, but I don't think it's imagining it.
What, there?
Yeah.
No, I think you're probably right. Put your straight edge on.
So, straight edge.
Just put it on.
No, it's
Is it right? Do it the other way around.
Oh yeah, no, it is a bit low just there.
Right, so give us a vertical line on it.
Right, so.
All right?
Yeah.
If you press it against the wall, and if you see a continuous line all the way down, you know you're pretty good. Yeah?
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I think that's good enough. Okay, so now we've done that, and that's pretty smooth actually, it's pretty good.
What I can't believe, Roger,
yeah,
is there was a step in that wall.
Yeah. Well, we took that out with the bonding first of all, but now it's gone completely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Speedskim just makes everything look. I mean, that's
right. We're finished with that Speedskim.
Yep.
So what I must do is clean it properly so that it's good for the next job, because last time I got left. Okay, so what I want to show you now is what people would generally do with this is, plasterers traditionally, they would push their finger in there, they go, oh look, it's already gone off, you can't get a dent in. Yeah?
Right.
So then they would go and second coat it. So that's a thinner, lighter, runnier coat which you just run over the whole thing. Now we've done that to a little extent because we were losing it, you know, on those hot spots as it were. But I think the whole thing's calmed down now. The other alternative to second coating is called sponge floating. And this is a sponge from Refina. You can pick these up, Selco, anywhere else.
Right.
There's a difference. This one is a finer texture.
Yeah.
You can get a coarser one, which I use on rendering outside, okay? So it's important to get the one that's for plaster, okay? Now, You reckon that's smooth?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoil it.
No.
Yeah? And in doing that,
Oh yeah, I can see.
it takes any high spots.
Yeah.
Oh, I need some water. Hang on, I've got a spray out here. Somewhere? Yep, we've got plenty of water there.
Yeah,
Right, so what I do is I use this spray. You can do anything, guys. You don't really want to splash a load of water on it, because if you do, it'll all run down the wall and it doesn't help you, yeah? So just spray it, but don't let it start running. Okay?
so it's just, the spray's just to help the sponge move.
Yeah, because that sponge, as you can feel, it's hard work. In fact, give the sponge a little spray as well. And all we're doing is filling in the hollows. Here you are.
Yeah, I can see it.
And
Right, so what do I do? Flat on the wall?
try it, give it a go. Just see how you feel. It's not great to use at first. Where do you want to go? Tell me where you're going. Come back up here.
Over.
Yeah? Tell you what, you follow my spray, okay?
Yeah. So it's almost like it's, is it like sanding?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's taking the high spots off, moving any excess goes into the low spots. So instead of having to go around second coating and filling in everywhere.
Yeah, look, I'm filling this bit over here.
That's it. So when that's done,
Yeah.
that would be flat. But unfortunately, it will be textured,
Yeah.
which is probably not what you want.
I quite like it as a finish.
Do you know what? It's not bad. You could get away with
Right
it.
for the house,
You could get away with it, quite honestly, if you needed to. So you could say, that's it. That's the end of the job. But there's more to it. We can do more with it. How you doing? All right?
Yeah.
Up here a bit.
But you can. It's really interesting because you can see these spots
Yeah.
that are appearing, can't you? That. Sorry.
That's all right. Go on. That's it. That's all you need. Sponge float. Yeah. So it's not hard action. I think.
So I shouldn't be pushing hard against.
No.
the
Well, I
wall.
think the thing is, mate, it's sticking a bit. So.
Yeah. No. I'm just trying to get my.
It's happening.
technique.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm not fully used to. I haven't been sponge floating for that long, but I've decided it's the way forward because it saves you a whole process, saves you, it can save you half an hour on a wall. And it just is something else, a different activity to running it in with the trowel. And it's as flat as flat, that's the other thing. Because when you feel plastered walls and you just feel them with your hand, you can feel little bumps. And when you put a light up against the wall, and then you look at the wall, a lot of the time you'll see ripples in it. With this sponge float, you don't see any ripples at all. The whole thing is absolutely flat. More water?
No, I'm starting to feel it now. It feels not counterintuitive because, like, why would you want to be messing the wall up? And it's really interesting. It's definitely doing this with you is making me a lot braver.
Well, what's the worst that can happen? We both get the sack. That lunch you served up while we were waiting for the bonding to dry.
It was good, wasn't
In
it?
fact, it wasn't you that served it up, it was Angus, the cameraman, wasn't it?
He's multi-talented.
Multi-skilled man.
Anyone with clean hands.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's the only one not covered in plaster.
Right, so how much am I going to worry about these little divots? Is that exactly what I'm supposed
If
to be
you could get them. But if you can't, then we will get them on the next process.
Right, okay. So there is more.
Yeah, there's always more at the door, my friend. Right, this is my trowel.
What about figure of the eight?
Yeah, do that. Do anything you like. Do anything you like, so long as you're at the end of it, you can see that you've...
It is about 20 degrees.
Is it? Okay.
Can you just show me the other way, just so.
Yeah. So what we're looking for is that, yeah? Just to lay any material back in. So we don't want to finish up with a load that we've taken off. Strictly speaking, we shouldn't be taking anything off now because we've sponge floated it.
Right.
And we know it's flat. All right?
Yeah.
So you can play with this. And quite honestly, it's just a little bit too wet at the moment.
This interesting. I keep chipping this trowel into the wall. It's a bit bigger than the other one. So.
Oh, is it? Okay, do you want to use this? Use this one.
No.
This is the gold one. This is nice.
Exactly, this is the good one.
Well, they're both good, but one's bigger. One's more of a laying on trowel.
One's a man's trowel.
Oh, it's a sexist. We're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well, I'm sorry. One's a plasterer's towel, one's a photographer's trim.
Tell you what, while you're doing that, if it all falls off the wall, shout.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing okay.
Yeah. You're going to leave me to it?
I'm going to go and wash this sponge float, because if I don't wash it and that plaster dries, it's game over for that.
Okay.
They're only about 18 quid.
Only, but
But
don't want to be doing one a wall, do you?
well, exactly.
And also a little bit of water every now and again if it gets a bit.
Yeah, if you feel it needs it, but at the moment I think it's not quite gone off enough to warrant that. I've just used that sponge float again, funnily enough.
I have to say, Roger, I feel like a professional.
Yeah, I think it's good enough, mate. Look, the only thing that really concerns me is all these bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's put me off. Now,
But
we're going to try and push those back into the wall. As it sets, they should pull back, yeah? If they don't, if in the end you find a few, just rub them very lightly. You might not even use sandpaper, you might just wet them up and just rub them with the edge of the trowel. Yeah, just spray some water on them, just rub them with the edge of the trowel. See what happens, you know, but you get rid of them if you sand, if you have to, but I'm hoping we won't have to, all right? Don't forget that bit. There's a bit up there, Ben.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cheers, see you in a minute. These are Nelaflex trowels, right? From Germany. Beautiful. In actual fact, they don't cost that much money in terms of like Marshall Towns and so on, where you could pay 50 quid. I paid 34 quid for these. This is plastic.
Right.
Yeah. Now I can see your face. You're going, oh, plastic. I ain't sure about plastic. The thing about plastic, you can get on it sooner without dragging the plaster off. So if you go on it too soon with the other ones, you find that it wants to suck the plaster off. So give me that one. Just have a go with that. It's flexible edges on it. They are Nelaflex, Nela trowel. That's the Nela one.
Or not, no?
Well, just try it. You don't really need any, so just try it and you'll see what happens. Yeah.
Dude! Oh wow, this feels
Now,
good.
for an amateur, you think, can you justify spending that kind of money, 34 quid on a trowel? But actually, if it gets the job done and you enjoy using it.
Well, I just think, you know, a speed skim and a couple of good things. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
My cheap trowel, the Hawk didn't matter actually.
No, the Hawk's all right, yeah.
Doesn't matter,
So
does
let's, sorry, just jump out so Angus can see. Right, so this has got these lovely tapered flexible edges, and you've got to be careful not to nick them,
Right.
get a little dent in them, so you have to store them. Well, the thing you can do is you just run a stone down it, or a bit of wet and dry, a bit of emery down it, and it'll bring it back, yeah? It's just so if you feel it and with your bare finger and you feel little nicks in it, you think, okay, time to give it a dress up. But the other thing you can do is you can just simply slide that out and put a new blade in it, yeah? So the new blade's about 12 quid.
So you could just buy a new blade and stick it on your trowel.
No, because it's got to be that handle. And the other thing, I've shown this to a few plasterers who have never even seen it. I've got a mate who's been plastering for the best part of 35 years and has never even heard of a Nelaflex, or Nela trowel. So I don't know what he's been doing, but he definitely hasn't been on the plastering forums, because they talk about them all the time on there, how good they are. And I
really liked it.
absolutely love it. I bought it. I mean, I'm not a plasterer, and I've bought something that a lot of plasterers think twice about buying. And I think, why? If you're earning good money, I mean, compared to plumbing, how many tools has a plasterer got to buy? None. Okay? So that's one. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. You carry on with that. This is the other one. This is the Nelaflex trowel. Have we got any water there, Ben? Oh, we've got some down there. It's okay. Right.
Oh, so that's not the towel.
Right.
That's not the one.
No, look at that.
Wow, is that like stainless?
And look how flexible it is. It's bendy as hell. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, this is really last knocking. So, okay, you never put plaster on with it.
Okay.
You never do anything with it. It's actually got rounded edges on it, which is really beautiful because it saves those little nicks in the plaster. And the last thing you're going to do is
Last for raw.
Look at that. As I say, we're still suffering slightly with these bubbles, but
yeah, we're going to have to live with that.
no, they pull in. I'm pretty sure most of them will pull in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as it dries.
Just leaving them?
Yeah, yeah. As it dries off, we come back over it, all right? We're still probably not even ready for this trowel yet, but just give it a go because it's lovely. That's lovely, but that's also lovely. Just be hard with it. Put pressure on it. Yeah.
Just floats across it, isn't it? This thing is special, isn't it? Is this from Sheffield?
No, it's from Germany. Nela trowels, yeah? There's other people doing those trowels. Ox and Marshalltown do them. I like the Nela, only because I saw people raving about it on the Plasters forums. I thought I've got to give that a go.
Is that what you're doing these days? Then?
Well, do you know why? Because I've had arguments with plasterers. You know, they're giving me a hard time over it all, and they're going to give me a hard time over this. This will absolutely set them on fire, this. Because they go, you can't learn plastering in a day. And I know you can't, but you got.
Hey, I have.
You got yourself out of jail. Well, we're going to see how you get on the other wall on your own.
True.
But yeah. No, you know you would carry on now and do a good job. Yeah. Look at that. I say the only trouble, the only reason we're not looking at perfection there is that bubble, which is not anything that we could do much about because it was the pressure of getting the job done because I can't travel, you know, that's the problem. Can't travel back here to finish it, so. But it's fine, isn't it?
Man, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's really interesting, I think, is definitely for my first time doing it, there's a couple of things that really threw me off, which was one, working quickly to get it on roughly.
Yeah.
To cover the wall, so I was working too slowly,
okay,
and trying to do it too nicely, and you were pushing me along to get it covered, get the coverage on there, and then when you've got it on there and you've got it reasonably flat, you're not worrying too much because you then go on with the sponge float, and then you rip it all up again and get it back in, and then you're like, what's that? And then the Speedskim as well. Do you know what I mean? So
that sponge float is just filling in the hollows, taking out the bumps, and giving you something that is absolutely flat but not smooth, and that is the key. And that's where people get confused. Those two words are not interchangeable. Flat is not smooth, and smooth is not flat. Yeah. So you get it smooth, but it's going like this.
Yeah, and you don't want it smooth, arguably.
Well,
in the end you do.
No, in the end you want it smooth, but what I'm saying is that people say, oh well, it's smooth, it's lovely and smooth, you know, you can't see any marks in it, but actually it's like this. When you put that light on it, the raking light on it, and you look at it, and you'll just see ripples along it. And you know, if I go to, as soon as people put wall lights up in their house, you know, they don't do it so much now, but they used to put wall lights up. As soon as they put the wall lights up, they go, oh my God, look at that wall, it's like that.
So yeah, okay, so what I would say then is, at the beginning of starting this, I was trying to make it smooth, where in actual fact, you were just making it flat.
Absolutely.
And then at the end we make it smooth.
Yeah, because that last bit, making it smooth is not half as hard when it's flat, is it?
Yeah. And of course, flat's what matters.
Yeah. So if we confused you enough with this little video, now we're going to watch Ben do his bit next door and see how he gets on.
Josh, do you want to come and have a look? My own DIY, first on my own.
Now, you didn't give yourself a big wall here, did you?
No.
But actually a little awkward one because you're stuck in the shower room, aren't you? That's good. That's
not
good.
perfect, is it? But
I'll tell you what, mate, it's good. And the other thing that works quite well, you get a wet brush.
yeah.
Just get a wet paintbrush and just run it down the edges.
Same like we did in the ceiling next door.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And then you're there. You know, honestly, look at that. Look. Blimey, that's a billiard table or whatever you call it, isn't it?
It's pretty flat.
A very flat surface, yeah.
And it's a bit smooth as well.
Smooth and flat. So that's the two things. Smooth, flat. I'm Roger Bisbee. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. Bring it on, you plasterers. I know you want to comment, so get going. Let's fill those comment boxes up with a war, with another argument. And if you want to see another how-to video on Skill Builder, we've got a lot of those. We've also got tool testing and all the usual things we do. So come back and see us soon. And if you're not a subscriber, if you become a subscriber, I keep saying this, but it helps us. It helps us if you like the videos, if you share them, and if you subscribe and you press that little bell in the top right hand corner, we will automatically notify you whenever a video comes up on Skill Builder. And there's a lot of them coming up.